Some people seem unshakable. No matter what life throws at them, they keep moving forward. They don't get pulled into drama. They don't break under pressure. They stay calm, focused, and strong. Sigma males are built this way, not because they're emotionless, but because they've trained their minds to be free. A true Sigma male doesn't just survive the hard parts of life. He grows through them. He doesn't get stronger by controlling others or climbing social ladders. He gets stronger by staying rooted in his own values. And because of that, he's hard to reach, hard to shake, and almost impossible to break. People often try to test him. They want to pull him into arguments. They want to push him off balance, but it rarely works. That's because Sigma males don't rely on outside systems for their identity. They don't care what others think of them. They don't need to fit in. They've built a world that runs on their own terms, and they don't let anyone change that. Being unbreakable doesn't mean they never feel pain. It means they know how to handle it. When things go wrong, they step back instead of falling apart. When people betray them, they adjust instead of losing trust in themselves. When the world gets loud, they get quiet and sharper. This video explains 6 shocking reasons why no one can break a true Sigma male. These reasons aren't based on being tough on the outside. They're built from within. They come from the way Sigma males think, live, and carry themselves every day. Understanding these reasons gives you insight into what makes Sigma males so rare, and why most attempts to manipulate, control, or break them don't work. They're not immune to life. They've just figured out how to live without letting life own them. Reason number 1, emotional resilience. Most people are reactive. They feel something and they respond right away. If someone yells, they yell back. If someone hurts them, they fall apart or seek revenge. But Sigma males don't move that way. They have emotional control, and that makes them nearly unbreakable. Emotional resilience means staying strong on the inside, even when things outside are falling apart. Sigma males feel stress, pressure, and pain like everyone else, but they don't let it take over. They don't lose focus. They don't make fast decisions based on emotion. They pause, they think, then they act. This control doesn't come from ignoring their emotions. It comes from understanding them. Sigma males know what they feel, but they don't let feelings run the show. That's a powerful skill, and it keeps them steady in situations that would break most people. For example, in a relationship, if someone cheats or betrays their trust, the Sigma male might feel anger or sadness, but he won't spiral. He won't lose his self-worth. He steps back, accepts what happened, and moves forward without drama. That ability to walk away without emotional collapse shows deep internal strength. In work or social settings, Sigma males don't chase approval. They don't feel crushed when they're not praised or liked. They know who they are, and that keeps them from being broken by rejection or failure. They expect setbacks. They know they'll come, and they prepare their minds to handle them. This mindset gives them a major edge. When life gets hard, they don't need someone to save them. They save themselves. They go inward, reset, and come back stronger. While others fall apart or seek help, Sigma males find peace in silence and clarity in time alone. Even in chaos, they remain calm. If a situation becomes heated, they don't raise their voice. If someone tries to manipulate them with emotion, they don't react. They see what's happening, protect their energy, and respond only when they're ready. This calmness makes them hard to break. People who try to control others usually do it by causing emotional confusion, guilt, fear, shame. But Sigma males are trained to see through that. They know those tricks, and they don't fall for them. They also don't over-identify with failure. If something goes wrong, they don't say, "I'm a failure." They say, "That didn't work," and adjust. That one mental shift keeps them from giving up when life hits hard. Their emotional strength doesn't come from being numb. It comes from discipline. Every time they go through something hard, they grow a little more. They learn to face the storm, not hide from it. And that kind of growth builds armor no one else can see. If you try to break a Sigma male through emotional games, you'll fail. He doesn't take the bait. He doesn't react on cue. He responds on his terms. And by the time others realize that, he's already moved on. Reason number 2. Disinterest in social hierarchies. Most people spend their lives trying to move up in social structures. They want better titles, more approval, and a higher rank. Whether it's in school, work, or relationships, they want to be seen as someone important. Sigma males don't care about any of that, and that makes them harder to control. A Sigma male isn't trying to be an alpha. He's not trying to lead a group or compete for attention. He's not a beta who follows the rules either. He's completely outside of the hierarchy. He doesn't play the game. He watches it from the outside. This mindset makes it nearly impossible to manipulate him using status. You can't shame him into working harder by saying, "Everyone else is doing it." You can't push him into roles by reminding him of what's normal. He doesn't care what the crowd is doing. At work, he's not chasing promotions just to feel important. If the job makes sense, he'll do it well. If it doesn't align with his values, he'll walk away. He's not afraid of losing status because he doesn't measure success the same way others do. In relationships, the same thing happens. He doesn't want a trophy partner to show off. He doesn't follow rules about timelines, marriage, or what makes a relationship look good. If it's real, he stays. If it's not, he leaves. He doesn't care what others think of that. This freedom from social rules also makes him calm. He's not stressed about climbing ladders or proving himself. He doesn't feel the pressure to be someone he's not. That calm energy protects him from burnout, anxiety, and self-doubt, the things that break most people down. People who try to control others usually lean on shame. You're not doing enough. You should be more like them. But that pressure doesn't work on Sigma males. They reject those messages immediately. Their value comes from within, not from ranks or labels. This mindset also makes them harder to isolate. Social pressure doesn't move them. Even if they're the only one in the room thinking differently, they don't bend. They stand by what they believe, even if it costs them status or popularity. By not needing to win in a social system, they remove the system's power over them. That's why they're so hard to manipulate, and why they don't break when others do. They've already decided the game isn't worth playing. So when someone tries to control them using praise, punishment, comparison, or shame, the Sigma male doesn't flinch. He sees it. He ignores it, and he walks his own path without looking back. Reason number 3. Selective social interaction. Most people spend their time trying to make as many connections as possible. More friends, more followers, more contacts. They think being liked by everyone keeps them safe or successful. Sigma males do the opposite. They keep their circle small, and that keeps them strong. Sigma males are extremely selective with who they allow into their lives. They don't chase attention. They don't entertain shallow relationships. And they don't let just anyone get close. This approach makes it very hard for anyone to hurt or control them, because access is limited from the start. They may appear social on the surface, but underneath, they're watching carefully. They listen more than they speak. They test people quietly. They're looking for signs of honesty, depth, and loyalty. If someone fails those quiet tests, the Sigma male begins to pull back without ever saying why. This silent filter protects them. It means manipulators, drama seekers, or emotionally unstable people rarely get in. And even if someone does, one wrong move can cause the Sigma male to go silent again, this time for good. Unlike others, Sigma males don't fear being alone. So they don't stay in unhealthy situations just to avoid isolation. They'll walk away from long friendships, relationships, or even family if trust is broken. They don't announce it. They don't explain it. They just move on. Because of this, people trying to manipulate or break them often get frustrated. They try to create confusion or drama, but the Sigma male refuses to react. He might just stop responding, stop showing up, or vanish completely. That disconnection is a form of power most people never expect. Their boundaries are quiet but firm. You might not even know you've crossed one until the Sigma male is already gone. That's how seriously he protects his peace. This selective social style also helps Sigma males stay focused. They don't waste time on fake friends or empty conversations. They surround themselves with people who add value, or they stay alone. That clarity allows them to keep moving forward while others get distracted by noise. Many people break under pressure from others, friends who manipulate, partners who lie, or family who guilt trip. But Sigma males don't fall for it. Their radar for fake behavior is sharp. And because they don't rely on social connection to feel complete, they're fine walking away. That's what makes them unbreakable. They never need to fight to hold on to relationships. They let go when they must and never look back. There's power in that silence. It means no one owns a piece of them unless they've earned it. When you don't let everyone in, you protect your mind, your heart, and your energy. Sigma males know that, and that's why they remain unshaken even when others fall apart. Reason number 4. Focus on personal goals. One major reason Sigma males are hard to break is simple. They're too focused to be stopped. While others are distracted by drama, opinions, or fear, Sigma males are working. They're building something that matters to them, and that mission becomes their shield. From a young age, Sigma males usually show signs of self-direction. They're not trying to be the best in the room, they're trying to be the best version of themselves. That mindset separates them from the crowd. It also gives them a deep sense of purpose, which most people never find. When a man has purpose, he's harder to influence. He doesn't chase things that don't matter. He doesn't get pulled into useless arguments. He doesn't change direction just because someone questions his path. That makes him solid. And in a world full of noise, that kind of clarity is rare. Sigma males focus their energy on goals that matter to them. It could be business, art, fitness, invention, or personal growth. Whatever it is, they throw themselves into it. And that level of focus protects them from outside pressure. They don't need praise to stay motivated. They don't need company to keep going. They don't need support from anyone. They know what they want, and they're willing to walk alone to get it. That drive makes them difficult to distract and even harder to defeat. Many people break when they lose direction. They start looking around, wondering who to follow or what to believe. But Sigma males don't look outside for answers. They go inward. They stay on course even when the road gets hard. If they fail, they adjust. If they're judged, they ignore it. If they're doubted, they let results speak. That quiet discipline becomes armor. It protects their mind from self-doubt and their emotions from outside attacks. Even in relationships, this focus shows up. If a connection supports their growth, they're all in. But if it slows them down or creates confusion, they leave. They don't argue about it. They don't wait for someone to change. They know their mission matters more than anyone's opinion. This kind of mindset isn't selfish, it's powerful. It means they live with intention. Every choice, every hour, every step is designed to move them closer to what they believe in. And that type of living leaves no room for weakness. People who try to control or break a Sigma male often fail because they misunderstand this. They think he's ignoring them. But really, he's focused on something bigger, something no one else can see, but he can. That's what makes him unbreakable. He's not tied to outcomes, praise, or approval. He's tied to his vision. And that vision gives him the strength to keep going when others fall. Reason number 5. Contentment in solitude. Most people feel the need to be around others. They want constant interaction, company, and connection. Silence makes them nervous. Being alone feels like a problem. But for Sigma males, solitude is not only comfortable, it's necessary. They don't see alone time as something to avoid. They see it as a place to recharge, reflect, and grow. And because of that, they're immune to the emotional traps that come from fear of being alone. That immunity makes them incredibly hard to break. Sigma males spend large parts of their lives alone, by choice. They work alone, think alone, and make big decisions in quiet spaces. They're not afraid of their own thoughts. They welcome them. That comfort with solitude is what makes their inner world so strong. When a person is happy on their own, they can't be controlled with threats of abandonment. They can't be manipulated with emotional pressure. You can't say, "If you don't do this, I'll leave," and expect them to panic. They won't. They'll nod and let you leave. This ability shocks many people. They assume being alone is a weakness. But for the Sigma male, it's a source of power. It means he doesn't stay in toxic relationships. He doesn't accept fake friendships. He doesn't settle in work or life just to avoid being isolated. Even during hard times, Sigma males turn to solitude, not to people. They reflect. They rebuild. They grow stronger in silence. Where others collapse without attention or support, they stabilize. That's because they've trained themselves to rely on their own mind, not outside voices. This trait also helps them reset quickly. After betrayal, loss, or failure, they don't fall apart socially. They withdraw, recharge, and come back sharper. Their peace is inside them, not in a partner, a group, or a public image. That's why attempts to manipulate them using guilt or loneliness often fail. They don't buy into it. They know who they are, and they know that solitude is not something to be feared. It's something to be used. Many people become desperate to connect when they feel alone. Sigma males don't. They become more focused. They reflect. They analyze. And they grow. That's why, when things fall apart, they're often the first to rebuild, quietly and on their own. Contentment in solitude gives the Sigma male unmatched emotional independence. It means he never needs to hold on to something or someone just to feel okay. And that's one of the main reasons no one can break him. He stands alone by choice. And from that place of quiet power, he becomes unshakable. Reason number 6, subtle assertiveness. Power doesn't always come with loud voices or bold moves. Sometimes the strongest people are the quietest. That's especially true for Sigma males. They don't yell to be heard. They don't force their way into situations. But when they make a choice, it sticks. That's subtle assertiveness. And it's one of the most powerful reasons no one can break a true Sigma male. Subtle assertiveness is the ability to stay firm without being aggressive. It's calm strength. A Sigma male doesn't need to explain himself over and over. He doesn't argue for hours. He says what he means, clearly and calmly, and then acts on it. That's enough. When someone pushes a Sigma male trying to control or pressure him, he doesn't explode. He doesn't react emotionally. He simply says no and means it. He doesn't yell. He doesn't justify. He doesn't beg to be understood. That unshakable calm makes others uneasy, especially people who are used to controlling others through drama or fear. This calm resistance is hard to fight. It gives no ground. If someone tries to guilt-trip him, he listens once and moves on. If someone threatens him emotionally, he doesn't panic. He sets boundaries and stands by them. Not out of anger, but from clarity. People used to controlling others don't know how to handle this kind of quiet strength. They push harder, expecting him to give in. But the Sigma male doesn't change his position. He repeats it once, then stops talking. And when the pressure continues, he walks away. That consistency builds respect, even in those trying to test him. They realize quickly that his calm isn't weakness, it's control. He doesn't need to raise his voice because he's already decided what he will and won't accept. This quiet power shows up in all areas of life. At work, Sigma males handle conflict without drama. If something doesn't work for them, they say so and offer solutions. If they're disrespected, they don't complain. They quietly remove themselves or shift the power dynamic with results. In relationships, the same rule applies. If a partner tries to change him or push him into something he's not comfortable with, he holds the line. Not with arguments, but with action. He keeps living the way he wants. If it causes tension, he doesn't fight. He simply leaves. This calm control frustrates people who rely on emotional reactions. They want drama. They want to provoke. But the Sigma male gives them nothing. That silence becomes strength, and it slowly removes power from those trying to dominate him. His subtle assertiveness also protects his peace. He doesn't get pulled into energy-wasting situations. He doesn't explain himself to people who don't listen. He knows his truth and lives by it. That kind of life builds mental discipline. And discipline is harder to break than emotion. If you've ever seen someone shut down manipulation with just one quiet sentence, chances are you've seen a Sigma male. If you've ever watched someone remain still and focused while others yelled and broke down, That's subtle assertiveness in action. Sigma males don't just talk about boundaries. They live them. They don't just ask for respect. They expect it. And if it's not given, they're gone. That quiet strength makes them immune to emotional games, power plays, and manipulation. Subtle assertiveness isn't loud, but it's one of the loudest statements a Sigma male makes. He shows, without words, that he cannot be moved unless he chooses to move. That's real power. And it's one more reason no one can break him. By now, the message is clear. Sigma males can't be broken because they've built their lives in a way that protects them from most of the damage that brings others down. It's not about being cold or distant. It's about having inner control that can't be shaken by outside pressure. They don't look for strength in followers, power, or attention. They build strength from within. They know who they are, what they want, and what they stand for. That makes them grounded. And when someone is grounded, they don't fall apart when life gets messy. Their emotional resilience lets them stay calm during chaos. Their independence from social hierarchies makes them impossible to control through status. Their selective social circle protects them from betrayal. Their focus on personal goals keeps them moving forward. Their love of solitude makes them fearless when alone. And their subtle assertiveness shuts down manipulation before it even starts. Together, these traits form an unbreakable mindset. Not because they block out the world, but because they understand how to move through it without losing themselves. People who try to control or break them always end up surprised. They expect a fight, a breakdown, or a reaction. But the Sigma male doesn't give them what they expect. He gives them silence. He gives them truth. And he gives them distance. That quiet power makes Sigma males rare and dangerous to anyone trying to control them. They don't need anyone's permission to live how they want. And because of that, no one can take that life from them. Even when things fall apart, they stay solid. Even when people turn against them, they stay true. They walk alone, not because they have to, but because they want to. And that walk isn't weak, it's powerful. So the next time someone tries to break a Sigma male, they'll learn the hard way. You can't break what doesn't bend. You can't control someone who needs nothing from you. And you can't win a battle with someone who isn't playing your game. The Sigma male is unshakable because he lives by truth, not by pressure.